Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the part of the world. We are saying hello to you from the studio of Glimpse Extra in Houston. We are so delighted and excited to be coming your way this afternoon. Before we go to the topic of the day, I feel like I need to just make some clarification about what Real Talk is all about. So I don't know, some people might not get to see the pilot episode when it came out, but I'm just going to chip in a little bit info about what this show is all about. It's actually about women coming together to hear their views about issues that are bothering them, issues that are most times not addressed, maybe in the church, in the workplace, or especially in the church, matters that bothers a woman, but they can't come out and talk about it. And so this is a platform for them to come together and air their views and give their honest opinion without fear of retribution, without fear of something is going to get back to me or someone will be angry. So that's actually the main reason for this show. It's a show, a platform whereby women come together to talk about issues that are bothering them. Someone sent me an email this past week and said, "You've not talked about politics." And I'm like, okay, we'll get there one day. But for now, we are just talking about issues that are bothering women. Maybe in the church, maybe in their families, in the society, a woman's life generally, a day-to-day affairs that affect women. So that is that. Okay? Now, going back to the topic of today, we'll be talking about the in-laws. The topic for today is the in-laws. That's a major issue that I know a lot of women face in their matrimonial homes. Maybe it's the brother-in-law or the sister-in-law or the mother-in-law. Usually we don't have issues with father-in-laws. But when it comes to mother-in-law especially, we have major issues. And then there are some that will say, I read something sometimes ago that said, my brother-in-law slapped me. What should I do? And I'm like, I was shocked. But I couldn't give the person any advice because it was on the public platform. And I usually, like I tell you guys, to each his own. What I do might not work for you. What you do might not work for me. So I can't come out and just tell you to do this, or do that. So today we'll be talking about the in-laws, and I have two, I'll call them veterans because they've been married for a while. So they've experienced it in all aspects or all angles you might want to look at it. They've had in-laws for a long time, and they are more than qualified to talk about it. So my first guest for today is a virtual guest. My first guest is Ayodele Foluke. She is a God-fearing woman who hails from Ekiti State and lives in Lagos, Nigeria. She studied public administration from the University of Ilorin and has a postgraduate course in political science from OSU. We call it OSU back home in Nigeria. If you're in Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about, It's in Abowoyi, Ogun State. She is a Christian and have worked in the banking sector for 10 years. And she's presently a wine merchant. She's there's a word we used to call it. Oh yeah, I've forgotten. She's a merchant. She only worry baba bukata of wine. And she is also a wine investor. She's married to her husband, and they are blessed with two amazing children, a boy and a girl. Two amazing teenagers, a boy and a girl. Welcome to the show, Foluke.
Thank you very much, Odun. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for sitting with us. I know it's late in Nigeria, so we really appreciate your time.
It's not a problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Coincidentally, my other guest is also Ayo, but her own is not Ayodele. Her own is Ayobami. Her name is Ayobami Oshilaja. She's a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter of Zion, who is loving, hospitable, friendly, and easygoing. She is a woman who has God, family, and entrepreneurship at her core. She's the owner and manager of Proven Tax, a tax preparation company here in Houston, the United States of America. She has been of help to many people across the 50 states of America in the area of taxation. Her hospitality has helped her open her door to many relatives and friends, and this has given her the experience in relating with in-laws, friends, and family. She is happily married to her best friend, and they are blessed with 3 lovely children. Welcome to the show, Ayo.
Thank you.
We are so excited to have you sit with us today. Okay, now straight up to the topic of the day, the in-laws. I know a lot of people they want to talk about this, is issues that they want to deal with. So let me come first to you, Ayo. The in-laws, must you be friends with your in-laws? Must you be close to your in-laws?
That's really a tricky question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would say yes and no. But in all honesty, I would say respecting them is the most important thing, and being friendly with them. Okay? And that doesn't mean bosom friends, because when you're saying friends, it's like you want a typical
Close.
friendship between myself and you.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what you're gonna have with your in-law. It's more of respect and courtesy and friendship. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
It's not a bosom like five
It's
and
not like
six.
two of like the friendship you have with a fellow woman,
with a
like childhood friend, BFF, and all that.
It's gonna be more of the one with respect, because you don't want to spill your
Spill the
you know,
out to your
and get yourself in trouble. So you're gonna show respect. You're gonna show courtesy. That is from the standpoint with which you're gonna maintain relationship with them, but not the spill secrets kind of friendship. That's not what you're gonna have with your in-laws.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So let me direct the same question to you, Foluke. Must you be friends? Must you be close, like BFF, with your in-laws?
Okay, thank you very much, Odun. It's a dicey question in the sense that you can't be friend, you can't be enemy to them. It depends on the angle at which they are coming in to you. If they're going to be friend to you, you will know by virtue of their attitude. And the ones that are not friendly, you just treat them casually and make sure that you have a plain mind towards them. You don't have a permanent friend with in-laws in the sense that it can indict you. So just be on a casual friendship and loving. That's all, in a godly manner.
Oh, wow. Thank you both so much. So you both said the same thing, practically the same thing. Okay, so you cannot be. So let me just ask. I just thought about this now. Why can't you be close? Why can't you be BFF with your friends, with your in-laws? Ayo.
The thing is, you have to understand that when okay, fine. There are some things you can share with your husband. Oh, because he's your husband, he's at par with you on that journey, or probably because you guys grew up together. He's seen the kind of life that you've seen, or it's open-minded to certain things. But what about his family? Are they open-minded towards that? So you saying that can jeopardize your marriage, or they can see you in a different light. So you want to really be careful. You want to really work that treasure parts with respect, and with caution, with alongside with respect, courtesy, and everything.
Oh wow, thank you. So Foluke, the same thing to you. Like I just asked her, why can't we be friends? Like some people will say, I am very close with my in-laws. I am this, I am that. In fact, I tell my in-laws everything. Is that wrong? Why can't we be friends with our in-laws, close friends?
Okay, it is very, very wrong. In the sense that closeness, which we call friendship, bring undue familiarity. And in the process of having this close friendship or close relationship, you tend to tell some things that you ought to keep to yourself. At the end of the day, you use it against you in the nearest future if there's anything coming up. And you don't know when you go beyond your limits. So you should restrict your friendship in order to give them their own respect and for them to respect you back. And so there should be limits to your friendship. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. So the next question will be to you, Foluke. In light of all this that we just talked about, that you should at least, like Yoruba would say, it fiaye jasile, because that's what I think this is all about. Okay, now, so should you not treat them differently from your family? Should you treat them a certain way or better? Or should there be a difference in the way you treat them with your own family?
Okay, as a godly person, in the aspect of godliness, you shouldn't treat them separately because you are meant to be one. But in the process of you being one, the issues, the stakes still remain that you must have a limit. Treating them alike in the sense that if you take good care of your family, you also take good care of them. If you have anything good planned for your family, you should also have good plan for them, because the two have become one. But there's always a boundary to everything. And most especially to in-laws. always create a boundary, but treat them nicely.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. So I due to the same thing. Should you treat them differently from your own family?
I think
Because now, we just talked about getting close to them, and most women, we are close to our family. So now, how do we relate? How do we balance it? If we are saying don't be too close with your in-laws, but then you are close to your own family. So is that not you treating them differently?
okay. No. Well, this is my opinion. Okay, I pray that we all have good family and wonderful in-laws. That's my prayer for every woman. But at the same time, I just feel, yes, love them and everything, respect them. But at the same time, don't neglect your family, because that little gap, that little boundary that we're talking about, when there's that crack, if you've already treated your family somehow, you don't have anywhere to go. You get what I'm saying? And then we have to understand that your family, no matter what, even if you grew up in the same community growing up, every household is peculiar. Okay? They have their own language. You understand what I mean by like a family language?
Yeah.
Because they grew up together.
Yeah. Like I could just look at my sister and she knows what we're talking about.
So you are just coming in. So you have to respect and everything to be able to
blend it
ease into that. And you wanting to learn something, you got to make a sacrifice, show some respect and everything to be able to get in and know the in and out. So, and it comes with you respecting them, and you know the reason why you're in there.
Okay, so invariably you treat them with respect and then don't neglect your own family too. So try as much as possible to balance things out.
Yes.
Okay. So Yinka, let me ask you now. For some people that are in courtship and they are having issues with their in-laws, like I went to meet my mother-in-law to be, and she doesn't like me, and for no reason. It's not like you even know her. It's not like they know each other, but for just no reason, the mother-in-law doesn't fancy the daughter-in-law to be. So what should you advise ladies like that to do if they are in that kind of a situation? That's for you,
Is it
Yinka.
from me?
Yes, please. Yinka, that's for you.
Okay. My take about that is that you don't bother yourself too much about that. The first thing you should target is your husband, which is your love. If you win the heart of your husband and the two of you are together as one, irrespective of the mother's attack or in unfair attitude to you, you should not feel bothered. The whole thing you pray, do the needful by loving her and by giving her everything she needed as a wife, whatever that is in your care, to make sure that she's happy, you give it to her. And when you make sure you do your own bits and you leave the rest for God to handle, and you go to the place of prayer, Father, I'm doing my bits. Whatsoever, you create the heart of a king because the word of the Lord says the heart of a king is in God's hand. And so when you tune it, God tunes it, the person will flow by loving you. So one thing is that it's good to be good. Be nice to people that are unkind. And in the process of doing this, you will just see them loving you unexpectedly. So my own stake is that you must keep loving the unlovable. Showing your own bit by taking care of ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá tó kápẹ́ wèrè ó ní kápẹ́ wèrè lọ́kọ̀ọ́yà ó náà máa fún yàn lọ́nà lọ. So when you love somebody that is not lovable, you are teaching the person how to love, and before you know it, you will have peace and you will enjoy. That's how it goes.
All right, thank you so much. So for the sake of our viewers that don't understand what she just said, what she said is that, like you're going on your way and you see a madman blocking the road. All you just have to do is just to tell the madman, please, I'm sorry, and just pet and cajole the madman so he can let you go. So that's basically what she just said in Yoruba language. Thank you for that, Foluke. So Ayo, the same thing to you. How do you win over someone, in-laws that don't like you? They just don't like you for no reason. There's actually no reason. How do you win them over?
She said it perfectly, but what I can say is there's no end to trying. All I can say is try,
Keep trying.
try. And then there's the place of prayer. Pray about it. You know, find people think, oh, prayer is so cliche. Every little thing they say, oh,
cliche.
pray.
Yeah.
No. But the thing is, because when that prayer starts working, you don't know. All you do is you've poured out your mind to God, and that's the only person that can help you. And then when you want to react, you have to understand that, you know, there are other children around you, either your own children or other younger ones in the family that are growing up. The way you handle certain things will have an impact on them. So you want to look, even if you win or you lose, but you don't know what the effect is going to be. So if you're the only person they're going to see as a role model or whatever, or maybe your own marital situation is the only one they're going to refer to in life later on, let it be a good one that's going to have a positive effect. So that's the more reason why you cannot afford to treat that relationship just anyhow. She doesn't want me, then so be it. No, you have to exercise wisdom and just keep trying and keep praying.
Okay, now let me ask you this. If you know at times when you keep trying to win someone over, you get tired. What if you keep trying and it's still the same story? In fact, actually became bad that there's like issue between you and your husband because of them. What do you do? How do you balance that out?
My dear, there are some battles you cannot win. But through prayers, even though while you're in it, it looks like as if, oh, you've lost. Winning. You're not winning. But I tell you, there's victory somewhere. Either victory to the person that's watching you, because when it comes to their turn, now they have a better approach, because either they've seen you win or they've seen you fail. Now they know how best to take care of that situation when it's their own turn. Because I tell you, everything that's happening in everybody's family, it's a circle. It's gonna revolve around in another new home, So they will learn from our experience. So you just have to do the best.
Do your bits. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Ayo. So let me ask you this, Foluke. As a woman, we talked about boundaries when we were talking about respecting them or being close to them. So what exactly do you mean by that boundaries? What kind of boundaries do you set for your in-laws? Is it that don't come to my house without calling me, or don't go dish food from my pot, or what exactly are these boundaries that we are talking about?
That's very good. It's a very good question, because boundaries have been abused over the years. And what I talk about when I talk about boundaries, or when we talk about boundaries, those are the places whereby in-laws and wife are meant to keep. Like my in-law right now, my husband, niece or nephew coming to my house, going to my pot to ditch soup, taking the best of my meat, and thinking that, okay, I'm not done, let me go again, and you keep dishing the best of my meal. And by the time I'm getting there, I'm seeing this crap. You have actually exceeded boundaries. Because in the first place, you don't go there to ditch food for yourself, irrespective of thinking, okay, it's my uncle that owns this house, it's my uncle's money. Those are the areas where we talk about boundaries. Or you as a wife going to ask questions that is on you don't even have the right to be asking. If one of them is coming into your house and you say, why did you come? All those kind of things, stepping out of your boundary. We have to respect one another. And the so-called husband too should put some policy in place for both us, the wife and then the in-laws, to know their boundaries. Like myself now, if my in-laws are coming, you have to call my husband, uncle, I'm coming to your house, bros, I'm coming to your house. It will not give you the room to come or to tell you, oh, my family are not in place right now, you can't come in. So they must have their own limits. While I as a wife or you as a woman must have your own limits. Because when we don't have boundaries, we tend to step on each other's toe, then it leads to some bitterness that cannot be resolved. So when we respect one another, that's when we keep our boundaries intact. We don't mistalk. You don't come into intrude into my privacy. And by so doing, you have a long-lasting relationship. And boundaries is very, very important in marriage. If it's not being kept, it will lead to broken home, divorce,
Well,
thriving
thank
that
you.
you will be beating each other before even the man comes. So that is it.
Wow.
Boundaries is very important. We must watch out for our boundaries.
All right. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. So, Aya, let me ask you now. Now, in this part of the world, I
Yeah.
can understand what she's talking about, well, as in taking Nigeria into consideration. But in this part of the world where everybody comes in, you want to eat, you go to the kitchen, you get something to eat on your own. Now, is that your in-law stepping out of their boundaries? Because yeah, you come in, there's food in the kitchen, you go through the fridge, you look for what to eat, you pop it in the microwave, and you eat your food. Now, is that the in-law stepping out of their boundaries? Is that overstepping the boundaries?
Okay, I understand the environments
Yeah.
might be different, but boundary is still boundary. Okay, and when we're talking about this boundary of a thing, it's just a place of respect.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I believe is this: sometimes because we grew up differently. You know, our husbands are raised differently, our wives are raised differently. What matters in your house may not really matter in my house.
Yeah.
But when you come in as a wife and you see something that they're
That's
doing
being
that you
done.
don't think you like, or it's like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of you creating, a big fuss about it, try to teach it to them. And the way you do that is a subtle way, gradually, kind of just embracing their moral, like,
Yeah.
you
introduce your own moral
introduce
in bits
them
and pieces.
little by little.
Yeah.
When you try to teach it to them like that, not that, oh, this is my boundary, don't cross this, don't cross that. You make that, okay, let me use an example. Okay, say, oh, on a good day, the person can say, go take something from my purse or something like that. Oh, if you have to help the person with the purse, you bring the purse to that person, you give it to me yourself. I don't want to reach in your bag.
Into your bag.
But your bag, I brought your
I
bag
buy
to
your bag,
you.
give me what you
Give
want
it to
me
me.
to.
You get what I'm saying? That's fine. Or your phone, you have a phone call. Instead of having to look at this and that, you can even turn the face of the phone upside down and say, you have a phone call. Those kind of things. Somehow the person might ask you, why is it that you turn the face of the phone down? I think it's your privacy. I think
don't
it's
want
your
to
own phone.
invade
You get what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So gradually they begin to see, that
They get the message.
They get the message.
message,
So
yeah.
when you teach certain things to them, or they just come, maybe like growing up, they used to just walking into their brother's room. Something like that. You see the person, you can actually tell the person, stay at the door, I'm coming, I will come to you. Stay at the door, I will come to you. So the next time.
No, don't go. So you don't know how to knock. They did not teach you how to knock. You should knock before entering. This is my private
So
room.
you give those kind of words. Stay at the door, I will come to you. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes when you start teaching those little things, then they start having that little friction, and then it becomes, after a while, it becomes a part of them. Oh, this person is loving, she's down to earth, but these are the things that she doesn't really like.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much to the both of you. So invariably, patience and wisdom is very, very important when you're dealing with the in-laws. At times, now let me ask you, because there are some in-laws that are difficult. They are naturally difficult. Even if you tell them, stay at the door, I'll come meet you, they'll be like, especially some ladies that are coming to talk to their brothers. Even when you tell them, stay at the door, they will be like, for what? I need to talk to my brother. So how do you handle that? I can see Foluke is laughing. How do you handle that?
Okay. I think the question of coast to coast is quite different, because the way she's talking about it, we have a naughty ones here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are
Very difficult ones. Yes.
they are very not. In fact, they will tell you that before you came into our family, he has been my brother. What are you telling me? Please leave the road and let me pass. Those ones, you have to be a bit tough on them and be firm. If you are not tough, if you are trying to use Western word style, they will even beat you out of the road. So sometimes you have to stand up to face them, not by fight, but by wisdom. You need to make sure you are a firm person, friendly to them, but when your no is no and your yes is yes, they'll be a bit strict, restricting themselves from offending you. And that is why we have to create some bit of distance relationship. We don't need to be too close in order to gain a respect, because you don't earn your respect by undue familiarity. At the same time, when respect is there and love is also there, you show them love when you need to love, and you show them your other side when you need to express yourself. Don't hide your feelings. Be a fair person by stating your understanding to them, making them to realize who you are. When people disrespect you, it's because you are pretending. If you're not a pretender, they will respect you for who you are. And when you say, this is what I want, if they go to your husband says, my wife doesn't take nonsense, but she's very kind. She's very loving. We have to take our stand by being fair. Yes, we have to be fair.
All right, thank you so much. So I'm still going to come back to you with that question, but before I do that, let's go on a short break, and then we'll come back with the disrespectful in-laws. We'll be back. Welcome back to the show. So before we went on that short break, we were talking about disrespectful in-laws. So I want to ask Ayo, how do you handle someone when you feel disrespected? Okay, let me give you my own personal experience that I had with my sister-in-law. She created problem for me right from the get-go. Like, she wasn't welcoming, she's the last born, and I call her was the first. So it was like, I'm not leaving this position for you. It was a struggle. In fact, she didn't come for the wedding. That was how bad it was. And then when I even now tried to call, she'll be like, why are you calling me? This is someone I'm far older than you. She'll be like, why are you calling me? Yes, I don't have anything to say to you. If my brother has anything to say to me, let him call me. And then I'll feel like, but then I'm just like, So now, someone that she was very disrespectful. It's just because if I'm not to sound my bell, I'm very patient. I'm a very patient person. But she was that my younger sister would be like, let me undo this girl for you. And I'll just be like, no. So now, if you feel disrespected by your in-laws, how do you handle that? What do you do? If your in-laws, especially a in-law that is way younger than you, how do you respond to that?
Okay, I'm smiling because of something that I remember in my childhood. Okay, so when we talk about disrespect is in different folds. Okay, disrespect like, who are you, what are you, or I can do this with you and there's nothing you can do about it. That's totally different. The person just wanted to just slam you. Mm-hmm. That's totally different. But from the example that you just that you just shared, I think that one is more of positioning. Mm-hmm.
Territorial fight.
She's protecting her territory. Mm. Because I remember growing up, I had this cousin, an uncle basically, but he's an uncle in the position of an uncle, but he's actually my cousin, but he's an older cousin. Okay. So by the time he had girlfriend and stuff like that, I was more of vetting
the girls.
If he had somebody that he loved and everything, but I'm like, till now, myself and the lady is like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but it's just one of those things. So I think as she gets older,
Okay,
gets married
did
and
you
all of that.
disrespect her in any way? Like, why are you calling me? I don't have to talk to you. Tell my
No.
brother to call me.
No,
you know,
no, no, no,
did
no.
she did,
I did not
that's a
disrespect her, but there were times that some things that would have been much more easier for her, you just form hard. You just form hard. Like I said, oh,
But
you're coming
did she
into my.
disrespect you?
She didn't disrespect me. She didn't even offend me.
You just don't
It's
like
just one of those things that you're like, and especially when that person happens to either be your favorite brother, favorite uncle, favorite cousin, and stuff like that. So it's always either you toughen up and you're like, I don't really, you get what I'm saying?
That was actually what I did. I really did not care.
Or you just welcome the person and you know what, let's take care of this man together. It's two ways. So I think that's what it is. It's a territorial thing.
No, I'm talking about when they actually disrespect you. I understand guarding your territory. I understand that. In fact, there are times I just smiled over it. But the day she said, why are you calling me? Why? I don't have anything to say to you. You know what? Tell my brother to call me. And like, she belittled me.
No, that one, if your husband is not aware of that.
He was, and he threw a fit.
And if he does, he needs to protect you. And then look for a way to kind of stand your ground.
Yeah. Okay, so you the woman, basically, you the woman, you don't do anything. Is that what you're saying?
No. I would do something, but I'll give the brother a chance to fix that first. And when that continues, I would have to stand my ground and just put her in her place.
Oh wow, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. All right, Feluka, let me address the same thing to you. So what's your own opinion about you as a woman feeling disrespected by your in-laws, especially those that are way younger than you?
Oh. Anyway, it's one of those things we experience because of cordial relationship that they've had with their so-called maybe like brother or uncle. They are feeling jealous because you've come to take over their position. Maybe they are very cordial before you come into the marriage, and they are feeling uncomfortable, because the love is now being shared. And so if you feel disrespected, if you watch closely, the relationship between such is because they have been together and now you have come to be an intruder. And in the basis of that, you have to be a little bit patient in handling such cases, because it happens. Most of it happens, especially wife and the girls in the family, your in-laws that are little girls,
girls,
they want to tell you that you have come to take their place. And when they are angry like that, you have to be a bit patient. You have to be patient and make your husband know about it. Let your husband create a situation whereby there will be an open forum for both of you to know each other better. This is my wife, this is my sister. Just create a way that there will be rapport and there will be love. And if the person now becomes so edgy that he wouldn't listen to your husband, and you now let your husband know that, okay, I can't continue with this. Things cannot go on like this, and I'll be happy. And then let her be put in a position, him or her, be put in a position, because you don't need to fight. You don't fight in-laws. You don't need to fight. It's your husband that will handle that situation. And once your husband handles the situation, then you gain your respect.
Oh, wow. Thank you both so much. So I'm thinking about this defending your husband defending you, because a lot of people will say she was rude to me and my husband was standing there, he didn't do anything, he didn't say anything. So should you as a woman expect your husband to defend you when you're being attacked by his own family?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Yes, because the Bible says a man will leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife. So he's the one that came to get you. So you, wherever it is, any stage at all, you have to be there to defend me, because you took me out of my father's house. Now you are not my father. Now you are not my mother. Anything that happens to me, you have to defend me. You have to be my first advocate. everywhere. You have to be. That is it.
Okay, so it's not wrong for you as a woman to say my husband did not. My husband should defend me, because that's actually that's part of his job description. That's the way I see it. Like, it's part of the deal. You should have my back. If you don't have my back, then we are not partners. So because at times I see posts where a woman would say, why do you expect your husband to defend you? You can fight for yourself. That's his family. He knows his family before he knows you. Yeah, right, true. But this is me and you, not me and family. So Feluka, let me ask you to that. Is it wrong for a woman to expect their man, to expect their husbands to defend them?
It's a dicey situation right now. I will say yes, I will say no. Why I would say yes is that if you are very, very right and you are just being cheated, your husband has every right to defend you. But if you are a sassy wife or a very wicked wife, because we can't just blame it on in-laws alone.
Yes,
sometimes
true.
Women go out of their boundaries.
Yeah.
Women go out of their boundaries to disrespect their in-law.
Yeah.
Like it has happened to me. I went to my uncle to go and receipt for my wife, and the wife will not give us for days. And the wife's junior sister was there. She will eat. She will drop the plate for me to wash. And they were treating me like a slave. And there's a limit to human endurance. It got to a stage. I called my uncle. He kept giving me money. He doesn't want to fight the wife. But at the end of the day, it leads to physical combat. And as God we have it, it was like a case of David and Goliath. She fell down and I sat on her. Because the husband was inside. Yeah, God fought the battle for me because I was extremely pushed to an extreme, And when the husband would say, husband was hearing everything, but at the end of the day, the husband could not defend, which is my uncle, could not defend her because she has done extremely wickedly. She has done too much. She has pulled the rope that she has to be abandoned. And then that was what gave me peace of mind, because after the fight, it gave me my own respect. And I keep respecting her, but at that moment, there was peace.
You have to fight back.
So we can't say yes. We have to look very well before a man can defend. You defend a woman that is innocent and loving, not a sassy, wicked wife. That's all.
Yeah, so invariably, if you're a troublesome woman that you like picking fights, I know some women are petty. They can be very petty and they like picking fights, and if you are that kind of a woman, it's very difficult for your husband to defend you. But if you are like, your husband should be able to vouch for you. If they go say, if they tell me your wife did this, you should be able to say, no, that's not my wife. But if you can't say that with all boldness, then something is wrong. And then in that kind of a situation, you cannot expect him to defend you. So thank you so much for looking for that. Because we know, for a very long time, I have always believed that irrespective of what happens, you should defend your wife. But now you putting it into perspective and saying, if you are an woman that overdo, like we say in Nigeria, that's yet to put you, I should do it to put you. So it'll be very difficult for your husband to defend you.
You.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So if don't put your husband in a difficult spot. I always tell people, don't put him in a difficult spot. I remember my childhood friend always tell me something and say, if you think he will choose you, what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? So don't even put him in that situation. Wow, okay, thank you so much. So let me ask you this. As a woman, I don't know if that is prevalent here, but in Africa, the children are usually closer to the wife's family. So is that right? Should that be happening? Should the children be closer to your own family as the woman than your husband's family?
Okay, my take on that. Okay, normally, whichever family that's around is what the children have the tendency to gravitate towards. But at the same time, you as a woman, that we're talking about a godly woman this time around, and we're not trying to hype it like a civil. We're not over spiritualizing anything. For the health of yourself, health of your family, health of your husband, let them have relationship with both families, because you don't know when situation or things in life is going to take them across, whereby they have to, when they have to be with the other
Closer
family
with this
member,
other person.
things might happen. Because, for example, we've seen children who, by the time they, like they either had admissions and stuff like that, they
And
have
to go to college.
be
and they have
with
like
a
a
family
family,
that they've never been with.
Wait.
You get what I'm saying? When I was in Nigeria, when I went to the Polytechnic, my father's family, even though in Lagos, I have more of my mother's family around. But when I went to Ogun State, I had,
More of your father's family.
as a matter of fact, my uncle stays like within minutes from where I was staying.
Oh, okay.
Even though I rented an apartment outside of school, but at least that's a closest family member that I can go and see, or that's like around to keep me in check, that can easily just pass in front of my house, something like that.
Yeah.
So you never can tell. So you want a good blend of both.
Both worlds. Yeah. Wow, thank you. So, Foluke, let me ask you the same thing. Typically,
Okay.
the children are closer to the woman's family, typically. And for me, I believe it's because usually I have a younger sister who is willing to come help me out with the kids. Because she is my younger sister. She's willing, which I wouldn't expect my younger sister-in-law to do. So now, in that kind of a setting, the children are already familiar with my younger sister because she practically raised them up. Do you understand? Because it's easy for me to pick up the phone and call my own family member to come help out than for me to call my in-laws to come help out. So that symmetry is created already. So let me ask you your own opinion about that, about children being closer to the woman's family.
Anyway, Ayo has already said it all. The issue is that we should allow both family to partake in the love sharing, let the children feel among both for the father's family and the mother's family. But most of the time, it tends to be like the family of the woman has more of the love because they are always available.
Around, yeah.
And like yes, they are always available, they are always around. You can beckon at any time, you can beckon to them, okay, I want you to do this for me now. You see your family member reporting. But you just feel like, oh, it will be insultive to call my in-law to come and do this for me. And in the process of doing that, they are not always around. And even if they are around, you want to like give them accord their own respect. As if, okay, I don't want it to be as if I'm now using them. So, the biased mind we have in giving them total freedom to do anything they want, giving them the kind of distance makes those children to tend going towards our family, which is a wife's, our own family than our husband's family. And it's been like that all over the world. I can't even say this is the Western situation or whatever, because the intimacy we have with our family will always be. And that is why the children see more of our family than our husband's family. So it has been from the genesis, and so shall it be. Because I don't think anybody can just follow in and say, you come. Yes, come and
help me babysit. Yeah. Come and help me babysit. Easier for you to call your own family.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Like I remember my sister. My sister would just call my mom and say, "Okay, I need you this week." And my mom would call, but she can't pick up her phone and call her mother-in-law and said, "I need you this week." So even my younger sisters, it's easier for you to just call them and say, "Are you busy? If you're not busy, I need you. Please come help me babysit for the week or something." But you can't do that with your sister-in-law. And so
there are some awesome families. And that comes from the place of experience, either because they've already been in that shoe before, or they've been without. So they are always more open-minded, free-minded, I'm ready to do something like that. And like she said, we the women, we the wives are the ones that are always with that reservation that
we don't
always want to be
overstep
careful,
that boundary.
you know. But there are some great
Now, even though they won't mind,
and they wouldn't mind, they're doing that. I know this is a talk show. I would say I'm blessed with one of those.
Oh, wow.
You know, so I do have those in my in my corner.
Yeah, kudos to you then. Congratulations to that. But I'm just going to put this out there. It's not intentional. It's not intentional. No woman will intentionally say, I don't want my children to be close to my husband's family. No. But at times, necessity dictates it. Necessity causes it. Like, you are there right from when I have a baby. That baby grew up knowing you. So that baby automatically will get closer to you. So if it is the in-law that are there too, the family will be, the children will gravitate towards you as well. So it's not premeditated and it's not intentional. That's for the men folk out there. We don't intentionally tell our kids not to get closer to you. It's just what it is, like Foluke said. Okay, so the next thing I want us to talk about is helping our family members financially. Because I know that is a major issue. He sent his mom money, he did not send my own mom money. He gave his father money, he did not give my own father money. So we'll come back and talk about that. Let's just go on a short break and then we'll be back soon. Welcome back to the show. So before we went on that short break, I said something about helping out financially, helping out family members financially. So Aya, let me ask you this. Should there be a budget for family members? Like, should the both of you say, okay, this is the amount we'll be giving our parents every month, as in both parents, and should you, as the husband, give your parents money without the knowledge of your wife, or do you both need to agree to be giving them a certain amount every month?
Okay. The African in us may not really have specific amounts to give to our parents or something. Then maybe the new redefined us, meaning the educated, the this and that and everything.
Westernized.
You might want to start saying, okay, how about we have a budget and say this is this. But one thing I know is that when incidents happens, there's no budget for that. The most important thing is, as long as you have an emergency fund for your family, you know, for the house, out of that emergency fund, leave some room, you know, to, like, just in case extended family calls, you know. And then also, God also supports us being a cheerful giver, not only cheerful giver into the things of God alone, into some of our family members, because our parents, obviously you already know you want to give them an allowance, okay, but what about the extras that comes in unplanned? So we should be able to reach out to those ones. So to me, that's me just chipping that in. So but it's up to everybody, you know. You can either say, you know, it depends on couple, okay, but I don't believe in me giving my mom's money separately, secretly behind, and my husband giving the mother secretly behind. I should be free to say,
let my husband know I sent so amount to my mom.
Or okay, we need to give grandma this, or we need to give. You get what I'm saying? There should be an openness as to what we're giving them. So if a particular mother, maybe the mother-in-law, let's say the husband's mother, now says, I want this dress extra, or I want this extra, that one is a different ball game. Him just throwing that in to the mother. Maybe they go shopping or something. Oh, and I like that wrapper, or I like that. That's not too much. But when there comes to like demand, oh, because it's my son, because it's this, then those ones I do have a problem with. You know.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So, for look at the same question to you, giving our parents money, should we have a budget for them, or should we just give our parents what we have separately? Like, give my own mom money, and you go ahead and give your own mom money. And do we need to be secretive about it? Do we need to hide such things?
Okay. It depends on family, because what we're discussing right here is money. And a lot of family has a secret about spending their money, especially husband and wife. Most husband and wife believe, like certain family, in quotes, wants to believe if I'm taking care of you, the onus lies on you. Use your discretion to take care of your own
Of your own
family.
parents.
Some husband will tell their wife like that. They don't do common things when it comes to their money. Oh, I married only you. Are you getting the point now?
Yes.
You now use your discretion. If I take care of you, to take care of your family. I did not inherit the burden
Your
of your
parents.
family with my marriage. And whereby some husband will call their wife, what do we give grandmas?
Yes.
What do we give grandpas? Oh, so it is two-way thing. Some will tell you that if I take care of you, don't go and buy a shoebi, or you take the best of the best designer. Remember your family from what I'm giving you. I won't tell you that I'm going to send money to them, come what may. But you use your discretion to settle your own family. Why I do my own family treats on my own. They don't need to tell you before they send money to their own family. So I think we need to use our discretion in this aspect. Family are not the same in this aspect, because money means a lot to a lot of people. So I believe that as a child, the responsibility to take care of your family lies on individual. If it's not going to be a common thing, it's going to be initiated by the man.
Oh wow, thank you so much. So
That's my
basically, the responsibility of your parent lies on you first before your spouse. Now, there are some peculiarities where both of you now agree to be giving them certain amounts every month, but then there are some other ones that will say, okay, you take care of your parents, let me take care of my parents. But then I feel if that is the case, and we're supposed to be doing everything together as a family, how does that work? Ayo.
Okay, since the responsibility lies on us to take care of our family, and you have to remember, now that you are married, you have become one, irrespective of either you keep joint account or you keep separate account. So that's the more reason why, since the responsibility lies on you, that's why you have to become your parents' advocates. Okay, if you're not going to remember to give my mom, and I know you're going to give your mom, why don't I
give my own mom?
Why don't I bring up the issue? Because I don't want you to ask me, oh, this money, how did you spend it? Why not let's bring up the issue? How much do we
talk about it?
Because you as a man, it's your responsibility to take care of your parents, right? It's my responsibility as a woman to take care of my own parent. Okay, now since it's a joint problem, we both have to take care of our parents. Why not bring it as an issue that affects both of us? What should we be doing to these people? For these people. So whatever the agreement is what you go with. So if I'm not going to be able to give as much, I need to be the advocate too. And if I'm going to be able to give as much, let that be their hegemony, as they always say.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So there is no middle ground. Whatever works for you. I know some family that gives their parents money separately is working for them. Hallelujah. I know some family that agrees and say this is what we will be giving our parents every month, and is working for. And at the same time, I know some family that it is an issue. You sent your mother money, you bought that fabric for your mother, you did not buy for my own mother, and then it becomes an issue, which is why I thought about this question. So, to each his own, I want to say to each his own, but like they both just said, wisdom is profitable in everything. If you are that couple that can agree to be giving your parents certain amount every day, kudos to you. And if you are that couple that wants to take care of your parents separately, kudos to you, do what works for you. But then we should take care of our parents. Now the one I want us to talk about is not parents this time around, but brother-in-law or sister-in-law, or like your younger brother telling you, I want to start a business, I need you to come finance it. Or your sister-in-law saying, I need to start I want to go to school. My brother-in-law should be able to send me to school, send me to college and all that. How do you manage that?
We all know our families,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So we're not coming here to kind of just air some dirty linens.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but we're going to talk some practical things on that. Okay. So if somebody approaches you and say, "Hey, I want to start a business. I want to," fine. I don't have a problem with us helping, but the thing is, what is your track record? Okay, and what is the plan? You know, there has to be some kind of some visibility study that's already been done. Okay, you're fresh graduate, you don't have a job, this is and that, or you couldn't find employment and you need this. That's understandable. Okay, we can do something. Or what about if you're married or you've already been working and stuff like that, you're just struggling and you just need a little push? Yes, but when the idea that you're even bringing to me, it's already not visible, and I'm seeing that, oh, this is my money just going down the drain. So I'm just gonna say no, you know, and I'm gonna have my husband say no too, you know. So I'm gonna have my spouse say no, you know, until we'll send you back to the drawing board. Go think about something else. Go do this. Or what about if we can send you on this path to go learn this particular trade or do this? I think that's going to be more beneficial. When you achieve that, then we can put an investment towards you. So that's mine.
All right, thank you so much. So, Foluke, there's some question to you. How do you handle that?
She has said it all. To you that is coming for financial assistance as an in-law, and you are not really being serious because there's no atom of seriousness in you or any good plan for that money you're coming for, I will be firm, because it's not easy to make money. And likewise, is anybody that is going to make it. If you're going to be very fair with yourself, you will know that, okay, your money must be spent judiciously for something reasonable. So for anybody coming to think like, they are very rich, let me get in touch with them and just enjoy myself with the money. No. But for you who is struggling, like Ayo has already said, and you just want a little push, fine, we'll sit down together. And even as a wife, you ought to like remind your husband once in a while, and husband reminding the wife, what have you done for this person who is pushing it just to make sure that the feet is stable on the floor and the person is moving forward, so that you might have peace. Because a rich man in the midst of a lot of poor people, they are currently poor.
Yeah.
So once in a while, we should be reminding one another what could be done for this. And sometimes, I may tell you, sometimes we sit together like this and we help them. But at the end of the day, you discover that they don't want to work. They will lavish the money and come back to you. It comes up in my own family, you know. We'll sit down, okay, this one 1 million, this one 1 million. And then even if it is ordinary, a little chaos to start a business, you discover they've used the money for party. So such occasion, we just have to, like, subsequent one, you do away with them. Because they will bring you down.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much about that. So helping your family members is not wrong, setting them up is not wrong. But if one, they have integrity, then yes. Two, if they are good managers of funds, because a lot of them just want to show, especially like now you have a brother or a sister out of the country and you're in Nigeria, they just want you to be sending the money and they are feeling good with it yourself while you're slaving away back here, you know. So if they have integrity, they have a good business plan, like Ayo said, and that plan is actually visible and achievable, then yes, you both should agree. You can agree to help them out in any way that you can. So let's just move on to the I'm just going to skip the next two and talk about involving in-laws in quarrels and disagreements. Is that right, Ayo? Should your in-laws be involved in your disagreements?
To me, that's a no.
Okay.
You know, either they know how it started or how it ended. No, they should not. So as couple, you're meant to disagree and agree. And just the same way you started your disagreements, you will end your disagreements. So they shouldn't,
Be involved.
they shouldn't be involved. If they're privy to know that you guys have misunderstanding, if they have a way to want to mediate, I just believe they should just give an open counsel and not pass any blame and just move on.
Yeah.
Because as couples, you will resolve it, and then move on. Except it's something that's gonna, that's gonna be a threat to life and stuff like that. That's different. But if it's just regular,
Or something that can actually bring separation.
yeah. If it's just regular, what is it called? Misunderstanding between couples. Those are normal. Those are bound to happen, and time will heal itself.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let me ask you the same thing, because I know quarrels will happen every day. Disagreements will happen between couples. It's like a normal thing. It happens. So should in-laws be involved in it? Should you involve the in-laws in your quarrels and your disagreements?
My take on this is that no. The moment you start involving your in-laws in your quarrel, your marriage is heading towards a destruction, because definitely if they keep involving themselves in your quarrel, they'll be picking against you once in a while. You won't know, because the Bible says, can two agree except that, can two work together except they agree. And in the process of agreement, there's always a disagreement. And when you disagree, you go to your closed door and solve your problem without anybody being involved. Because once you are able to conquer this, you will have a long-lasting relationship that brings peace. But in the process of calling in-laws, they'll be holding on to some things, and when you're both fine, you do your own thing, they are holding on to the grudge of maybe what you have said to your husband or the family member, because out of anger sometimes you may say something that will hit them, and when they get to know about it, they won't let go of that word. They hold on to it. So most of the time, it is better, and even every time, not most of the time, to settle our quarrel amicably in the night when we're about to sleep. Okay. And a woman must be humble in this aspect. But men don't come down to say, I'm sorry. Mostly, 85% of men will never tell you, I'm sorry. It is the woman that will humble herself and say, okay, darling, don't stay. Please, let's solve this amicably. And sorry will not kill you. Once you say sorry, it's over.
Yeah.
So that's what I practice. I don't, no matter how dreadful the situation may be, except in court, if it's going to involve your life. But when you go on your knee and you humble yourself as a woman and join your faith with Christ, there's no mountain you can't surmount. That is my own take.
All right. Thank you both so much. Thank you for today. Thank you for the advices. And so I'm just going to ask you to just give, any woman that's going through difficulties with their in-laws, that are struggling with their in-laws, I just want you to just give them an advice before we go. So I'll start with you, Ayo.
Okay. To women out there that are having issues with their in-laws, all I can say is just keep trying. Try. It's doable. And not just only try by yourself, try through prayer, and the Holy Spirit will guide you. The Holy Spirit is the one that can give you wisdom, and then it will guide you into doing what is right with them and how to deal with them, because that's the only person. And like Inska said earlier, one of the scriptures that she used earlier, which is in the book of Proverbs, that the hearts of the kings and princes are in the hands of God, and God is the only one that can direct it whichsoever. So the same in-laws that are giving you trouble today can turn around and be the ones to celebrate you. All you can do is keep trying, and then pray about it, and then just be you, being you, because other people, generations after you, are going to remember how you handle that situation, and it's going to have an impact on them. So, but what kind of impact do you want your situation to have on them on the long run? So that really matters. So keep trying.
Thank you so much, Aya. So Foluke, same thing to you. Advice for any woman that is going through difficulties with their in-laws?
For every woman going through difficulties is that they should, their prayer should be the first thing, because prayer is the key to lock evil and to unlock the good ones. So when you pray and you are always persistent in prayer, always a victory. And women should endure a lot of things and overlook a lot of errors. But the ones that I would say that you cannot overlook is jealousy, and which leads to hatred. In those ones, you just have to like be careful and be prayerful and keep your distance. But in all, we should commit our ways into God, our family into God's hands, and make sure that we are safe. You as a woman, before you point an accusing finger on in-law,
Yeah. Yeah.
check who you are.
Yeah.
Be good to yourself and be truthful to yourself that I am doing my bit as a wife, and not expect everything to fall in place when you are not there. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you both so much. I've learned a lot today from what they all said. My own final thoughts will be prayerful and be true to yourself. Check who you are. Who are you? You can't be a disturbing woman. You can't be a quarrelsome woman and expect peace to be around you. If you are a quarrelsome woman, a troublesome woman, most likely everything that comes your way will go towards that direction. So who are you? What are you expecting? Are you giving what you're expecting? You know, we attract what we give. It's just the rule of nature. So who you are is what comes close to you. If you are a troublesome woman, don't expect see, there are some in-laws that will actually overlook some things. But there will be one person in that family that will be like, no, I'm going to put her in a place. So who are you? What are you doing? How are you treating your in-laws? If you are nice to them and they are being unnice or wicked to you, then there's something called karma. You know, they will get their own. It will come to them. So let's try as much as possible to be true to ourselves, to be God-fearing, to be true children of God. Let's not be someone that just like, you know, we talk the talk and don't do the work. So let's do what we are saying. Let's be accommodating. Let's be respectful, you know. And then if there is a boundary, try as much as possible not to cross that boundary. Set boundaries for yourself, respect them. Set boundaries for your in-laws and respect them as well. Respect is reciprocal. It attracts naturally. So that's it for today on the Real Talk with Odun. I want to thank my guests so much. Thank you for looking here. We know we've kept you up for way past your bedtime, but we are sorry about that. But thank you so much for sitting with us. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your words of wisdom that you've shared with us today.
Very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ayo. Thank you for sitting with us today. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for the expose and everything. We really enjoyed our time with you also. Thank you for sitting with us.
You're welcome. I enjoyed myself too.
Yeah, thank you. And to our viewers out there, thank you so much for every time. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the words of encouragement. Thank you for the messages, especially Facebook. I get a lot of messages on Facebook with suggestions of topics and all that. We'll get to it. Don't worry. We have a lot to talk about, so we are still here. So we'll get to the topics. And to everyone who have said, yes, you helped me. Yes, I was going through this. And then I watched your show and it helped me. Thank you so much for those words of encouragement. They actually means a lot, you know. They made us know that, yes, we are doing some good in our own little way out there. And thank you so much for joining us once again today. Like I always say, like our Facebook page, Real Talk with Odun. Follow our media house, Glimpse Extra. Like us on Instagram, Real Talk with Odun and Glimpse Extra. On YouTube, it's Glimpse Extra. On Twitter, Glimpse Extra. On everywhere, all social media page. You can like us and give us a thumbs up and say, well done guys, you're doing well. So until next time when we come your way, you can also download our app. I remember, I did not forget. Download our app. We have an app, and that way you get the first dips into our talk shows and all the shows of Glimpse Extra. The app is Glimpse X, and it is on iOS and Android. And then for those in the United States of America, you can actually watch us on Roku. We're on Roku TV, so you get to see our shows on Roku. So thank you once again, guys. And until next time when I come your way, I'm still your friend. I'm still your daughter. I'm still a fellow woman like you out there. Odun Akirele. Bye for now.